So, the last 10 years of living with chronic illness have been very challenging to say the least. Today, I wanted to share 10 things with you that I've learned over a decade of living with chronic illness, which I think anyone can apply to their lives. Doesn't matter if you have a chronic illness, disability, an injury, or just an inability to do something, whether it be through age, weight, or anything else. So, I hope you'll find them useful. So I came to the conclusion pretty early on in my chronic illness journey that really I feel that I can only really rely on myself. While my doctors and nurses have been really helpful in terms of helping me deal with my chronic illnesses, um, it is difficult day to day. Your doctors aren't with you every day. Your nurses aren't with you every day. You have to get on with your life on your own, essentially. Even if you have a support system around you, that's great. But no one really can truly understand how you feel inside day to day, whether you're struggling with pain, fatigue, can't get up out of bed that day. No one understands how you feel day to day. Sometimes you might feel great day to day, sometimes you know yourself you don't feel good and the day feels like it has been lost. Sometimes it lasts for a day, sometimes it lasts for a week, sometimes it lasts for longer. And these things you can't predict. But what I want to remind you is that your feelings are absolutely genuine and valid. Um, don't let anyone ever make you think that what you're feeling is not true. Because, like I say, only you know how you feel day to day. Second thing I learned came from when I moved out of my parents' home and into my own home with my partner. And I really, really had an identity crisis. When I was at home with my family, I had a lot of support day to day. My mum, dear love her, she did an awful lot for me, and I can only thank her for that. But I found when I moved into my own home, I was really having to do a lot of the work in the house. We actually bought a property that needed quite a lot done to it, which we needed to do because of the financial stage we're in, but it was a lot and it took us a long time to get through it. But it got to the stage where once all that sort of renovation of the house was sort of done, then it came down to what I need to do every day. I need to clean, I need to cook, I need to do whatever else needs done in the day. I need to do the housework. And it was difficult. And someone who is at their best physically, mentally, might say, "Oh, you're just being lazy." And I think you sort of get to feel like that yourself. You think, come on, what are you doing here? You need to do something. This isn't a good way to live. When your house is getting a bit dirty and run down, when you're not eating properly, that really affects things too. It really affects your mood and how you are able to perform physically. And I felt like I was getting really quite depressed and actually really frustrated and anxious too, because living in a home where it's not sitting as you would like it isn't nice at all. Now, I'm not saying my home was really, really bad, but I came from a home where everything was kept clean, kept neat, and then just suddenly feel like I had all this pressure on my shoulders to keep that up, but find it difficult to do. And I'm the sort of person, and I know not everyone's like this, but I like to have everything in its place so that I can find it easily, and it's not holding me back in my day. And I wasn't able to find things, and it was just a nightmare. And I absolutely hated it. And I thought, I can't live like this anymore. So that's when I had to start looking for solutions to my problems. And that then brings us on to the third thing I learned. So the third thing I learned, and it has absolutely been a game changer for me. And it's such a simple thing. Routine. I can't express it enough. Routine, you need it in your life. It'll help you mentally, it'll help you physically, um, and just help you get through the day. In terms of cleaning, that was the first thing I changed. That's the first thing I found solutions for, because it was really, really getting me down. And I thought I have to get into some sort of routine, but I can't push myself really hard. I mean, I'm not the sort of person that can clean a whole house in a day. Just physically isn't possible for me. And I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you as well. So what I had to do was break it down essentially. So what I did was I thought, right, I need to decide what I'm going to do each day. I need to write it down, because when you move, I think when you live with your family and you live with your parents and they're doing most of the work, you really don't realize how much work goes into your house, and it's a lot of work. And so I needed to make sure I had things written down in a way that was easy for me to complete each day, each week, each month, each quarter, and that I could keep on track of those things as well. So, what I ended up doing was I downloaded an app, and I can't quite remember the name of it. I'll stick it down here. But basically, what that helped me to do was, right, say Monday, I do the dusting in the house. If that's all I do on a Monday, fine. That probably sounds quite simple to a lot of people. You know, that's as much as I can manage on a Monday. On a Tuesday, I clean the bathroom. On a Wednesday, I'll do my vacuuming. Um, that's the way I have it set up at the moment. On a Thursday, I clean the kitchen sink. On a Friday, I do my ironing and my meal plan for the week. And then Saturday and Sunday, I don't really do anything. On a Sunday, I would sort of get a little bit prepared for the week ahead. I'd water the plants on a Sunday. I would get out the meals out of the freezer that I'm going to make the next week. So I think really breaking it down like that has really, really helped me. Um, the routine that I just mentioned is my routine at the moment. It didn't start off like that. It needed tweaked. I actually started off. I can't remember. I can't remember how exactly I did it, but I remember vacuuming was one of the things, and I remember doing vacuum the upstairs on a Monday, I'll vacuum the downstairs on a Wednesday, and I didn't find that to be helpful to me personally. That might be helpful for you, if you can't manage all the vacuuming in a day. Now, to be fair, I do find it difficult when I do it on a Wednesday, especially with my back, would get quite sore very easily. Um, so I do struggle with that. But the point I want to make is you don't have to set a routine and stick to it, because you know as well as I do, your day can change, in the space of half an hour. It can change in the space of 10 minutes. You don't know how your day is going to go. You don't know how you're going to feel when you wake up in the morning. Do I do my routine religiously every week? No, I don't. Um, if I am extremely busy in a week, I might let the cleaning go. That's okay, because I know I'm going to pick it up the next week. But I know that my house is relatively clean, and honestly, I think that's good enough. And I think this is the problem I had too. I was always very much a perfectionist, and it doesn't work when you have illness. It doesn't work if you're dealing with an illness or an injury or anything like that, that lowers your ability to do things. Um, if you can be 1% better tomorrow, that's 1% better. You know, do that each day, you're 7% up by the end of the week. You know, so long as you're improving, then I don't think you should be so hard on yourself. And that's something I definitely was, and I don't want anyone else to be. So you have my permission to just do a little bit each day and build yourself up. And I think it'll really help you too. I'd be interested to know what your routine looks like day to day. So leave me a comment, let me know. The fourth thing I learned was about finding my tribe in unlikely places. Um, I think I have found anyway, when I have looked online regarding chronic illness, you get all these forums, you get all these charities, you get all these support groups. But for me personally, and it's maybe just the forums and stuff I've been looking at, there hasn't been a lot of solutions to problems. There's a lot of people talking about their illness and how it's bringing them down. And honestly, I just found that that brought me down as well. It didn't give me the positive outlook I needed. And in a way, that's why I started this channel, because I don't really see it online. I could be wrong. You know, the internet's a big place. I'm sure there's positivity out there somewhere, um, but I haven't found it as such. But I was able to find like-minded people in a way, in unlikely places, and this came from when I had had enough and I was trying to make routines, trying to get back into the way of things. And one of those things, I sort of came to it through cleaning, but it was also to do with decluttering. And it's a decluttering group called the Declutter Hub. Um, some of you might have heard of them before, Ingrid and Leslie. They're great mentors in terms of decluttering your home. And they work, I didn't even think of it before, but they work with a lot of people with chronic illness or people that can't do the thing through inability, be it through age or anything else. And I really could understand what they were talking about, and I felt that they could understand me because they work with people in my position every day. Um, for example, you know, they're saying about decluttering at certain times of the day when you're feeling at your best. So, in terms of me, for example, sometimes I have to take very strong painkillers in the morning that would make me drowsy. So sometimes morning isn't the best. Sometimes I have to wait till the afternoon till those things sort of wear off a bit. Evenings are a no-go for me because I just feel very, very tired and need to rest. Um, but finding people that sort of understand, they don't understand my illnesses per se, but they understand the struggles that I'm going through. And I'll leave a link to their website down in the description. If it's something you want to check out, they are really brilliant. They have a free podcast as well, which comes out every Friday, which I listen to while I'm doing my ironing. So um, being able just to listen in and sort of hear what they have to say, and actually decluttering my home, especially having gone through renovating the home, we had a lot of stuff to get rid of. Um, but that actually really lifted me too. So find your tribe in unlikely places. You will have different interests than I do. Um, Maybe have a look online and see what sort of groups there are. Maybe they'll be able to lift you up, rather than groups about chronic illnesses that sort of bring you down. Do you feel like you've found help in unlikely places? I'd be really interested to know what those were, and I'm sure other people watching this video would be interested too. So pop it in the comments down below. So the fifth thing that I have learned is to stop comparing myself to others. And that is so hard to do in today's world where we're constantly on social media. You're looking at Instagram, perfect houses, perfect lives, and honestly, it's all a front. I don't care what anybody says. But I mean, if you're like me, I'm sure you've gone through feelings of not feeling good enough, not being able to do what other people can do. But that's okay. You know, you might not be able to do what other people can do. It doesn't mean what you do is any less valuable. It might take you a little bit longer, but slow and steady wins the race. Like I said, I was very much a perfectionist. Still am to a degree. I'm trying to sort of let that go a bit, and I have been able to do that. But like I said, if you can only give a few percent each day, it's, you know, it's more than doing nothing. So don't feel bad about yourself. Don't compare yourself to others, um, because others aren't living the life that you're living. You know, they say everyone has 24 hours in a day. Yes, that's true. But 24 hours looks very, very different to someone who can go out, can go to work, can come back, can cook a meal, can spend time with their family, can put the kids to bed, compared to someone who struggles to get out of bed in the morning, can't work, struggles to cook, struggles to clean, you know, maybe doesn't have family around them for support, and struggles to get dressed, to get into bed at night. That's very, very different. And there's no point in you comparing yourself to that other person. You can only do your best, and your best is absolutely good enough.